Hey guys, Gameboy 3800 here once again, and I'm testing Project Ember with Firmark, just seeing what the maximum temperature the GPU will reach will be. So far it is at 55 and out of focus. Come on. 56, whatever, it's gonna keep going up. May hit 60s, maybe? But we are getting an average of 133, once again out of focus, because trying to hold a box in the other hand while holding the phone in the other is not too easy, apparently. So there's that. That thing's doing that. So it's getting 134 frames. That's when you'd expect to hear coil whine. And actually it's not. And it is going to reach 60 degrees, it seems. I don't know when this will top out. I can feel the heat coming out the top of the case, so it is working good. But yeah, actually it seems to be stabilizing at 59 there. I know, there it is, 60. Anyways, this is the new cooler for the CPU. Gonna one hand unbox it and see how horribly this goes. And continue to watch the temperatures for the Series X. It is still in its ultra super temporary setup with the drives there, even though there doesn't really need to be a reason for them to be there. But whatever, they're there still. Here we go. That is trash. Now we can get kind of a look at kind of the cooler. There we go. This is brand new. Just bought off of Newegg. This is only for Intel sockets. That's good because, well, this is an Intel board, so whatever. I don't really care. Comes with, what are these fans? I've never seen this fan before from Cooler Master. Or Corsair, my bad. No, it's a 3-pin. It's not their Silencio or their... actually, it's not Silencio. It's not their SF-120s that they use on their H100i cooler or something. So that's interesting. Here's the mounting hardware I'm going to use. And then the CPU and radiator are right there. Since it seems like I have plenty of room inside the case here, I will do push-pull. With this fan, unknowing of its performance, will be on the back. And then one of my red AeroCool fans will be on the front side of it, so that it gets some red light inside the case to match the Radeon logo and the other frontal lights. And we're still coming up in temperature. Wow, that is unexpected. This is a Fury X with the liquid cooler. I can definitely feel it coming off the top here. Maybe the top panel is inhibiting its performance somehow? I wouldn't think so. Maybe got a tiny fan to help exhaust some of it out the back here. Wow, this entire top part is really hot. I was not expecting that. That might be the issue. I may have to rethink this radiator placement that I've got here. Put the CPU one on the top and the Fury X on the back. I'm going to see how hot it gets, but there's flatlining now. That's good. 67 degrees on the Fury X though? On an open test bench, this can get only about, what, 50? 60 at most? Is that normal? Look at that. The case seems to be getting so hot that it's starting to warp a tiny bit. Yeah, no, I'm going to rethink this strategy here. I don't know whose idea it was to... Oh my god, dog, shut up. I don't know whose idea it was to put only side vents on the top, but it seems like it's not supposed to be like that. That is very, very hot. Yeah. I'm gonna have to find out what's going on there. So yep. Next update, or I guess I'll split this part up here. Yep. This cooler is going onto the CPU. And I did not test the CPU temperature. I might as well do that now. I might as well test them both and get some IDA64 action going on here. So let's tell it to stop burning itself to death here. So let that cool down for a second. And I'm going to go get IDA64 and give you the temperatures for everything. So I'll be right back. Alright, we've been going on for 7 minutes just about now. And the CPU dips up to 50 sometimes, but most of the time it's been at 49. So I guess 50 is what we're going to try to get below. And the video card has pretty much flatlined at 63 to 64 here. And I think I know why it's getting so hot. Because usually there'd be an exhaust fan there to help exhaust some of the heat. Instead, it's just kind of sitting there, and because heat rises, it's slowly coming out the top. But I think once we put the radiator there, everything will be much better. So, that's the goal to beat. 64 and 50. So let's stop this. And by the way, I did not overclock anything yet. So I just got this to see the GPU temperatures. And for the heck of it, we can make it go all the way up for lulz. It's actually not that loud considering all things. Now we get some hot air coming out. A lot of it actually. But that's really just to let it cool down some. So that's going back down. Let's shut her down. Oh, 1 of 11. Awesome. I'll let you know when I'm about to get the cooler on. Right, I guess I'll cut to the point where I'm about to get the cooler on. So same thing, same difference. 1 second. Okay, cooler is off for the 3rd time. A new backplate is already installed. And now we're ready to screw in the radiator first, and then put in the block pump combo, whatever, next. So, I'll see you in a second. Alright, here it is. It took a couple times to get the Corsair logo to be perfect, so I had to redo the thermal paste at least twice. Fans, everything fit on nicely. I just tested the side panel, that fits on without too much issue. And yeah, there is still like a pocket up here where hot air could be trapped, but there is venting on both sides and the back, so it should be able to escape. And I think the issue before was it was pushing out some hot air, and it was just kind of coming back in and being sucked through and being recycled. But now with these fans here, that shouldn't be an issue anymore. Any other final footnotes or anything I can do? Not too much. Everything seems to be nice and in place. If the GPU temperatures still go up to like 60, like they did before, I will add a very tiny fan on the back here so it helps exhaust some of it. But other than that, I think this is good to go. Now the side panel, I took off the inside plastic, as seen here, but the outside is still on. Putting the phone down so I can put the side panel on without destroying the universe. Again. And there we go. Imagine the plastic being off. You see the red fan, the Corsair, you see the Radeon peeking through. And you don't see very much of the tubing, only a little bit of the GPU tubing. I tried as good as I could to get all of the CPU tubing up into the top section. And I think it turned out really nicely. So I'm going to hook this all back up, put both side panels on, and see where we go from there. Alright, it's ready to go. Power up. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. Turn on the screen. Should turn on the screen. Taking a few times to boot up. Come on, you can do it. There go the lights. We're good to go. Now, why does it not want to boot up so easily? Let's find out. CPU's at 30 degrees idle. And these should all be in silent mode. Alright, that's silent mode. Now let's see if it's any quieter. Still kind of loud. Whatever. I'll figure something out, I think. I hope, maybe. Let's get a good look at this. So here's the front. Looks like that. Then the side panel still has the front film on it, but it would look something like this. And that looks really, really good. And the board also has some red lights on it, so that's cool. And I left it like this so that you could see all the cables that aren't really there. I only have the keyboard, mouse, and VGA plugged into the motherboard because I want to see if I can get that working at least, or if it's disabled like forever in the BIOS or whatever. Probably not forever, but you know, I'll have to find something. Everything seems to be going not horribly so far, so that is good. There's a white spot there. I'll probably color that in with like a Sharpie or something to make it less noticeable. But everything else seems to be doing good. And it's doing the update. So I'll get back to you for temperatures after they are done. Alright, it's up and ready to go. Let's launch up IDA64. We have Afterburner not to overclock, just to look at the temperatures over here. So we're going to start here. And we have the overall CPU temperature here. Seems like that's currently at 39. And we'll see what happens in 10 minutes. So I'll see you when it's done. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes, not 10. CPU is hotter, and so is GPU. That is really odd, because the fan should be exhausting all the hot air, and it is. But obviously, that that is still an issue. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take out the air-cool because it is quite loud. And I am going to get a small fan. Actually, I'll show you. Alright, this is the tiny fan. 4-pin. I might need an extension. I am going to remove the air-cool because it actually is not entirely great for this. So that's not going to be too hard to get off. Just going to have to rewire a couple of things. So yep, I'll see you when all is supposedly good. Alright, so the red fan is off. Now the reason why I took it off is because it's not really tight around the edges. You can see here that there is a gap between the fan blade and the actual thing. It's not that big of a gap, but it was enough to let some of its air pass right back out. And it was hot air, so it was going right back into the case. But I also noticed while I was taking the thing apart is that the top part can come off separately. So now, as you can see, it is nice and very vented, although it's got no mesh, so it wouldn't be dust proof at all, but it's cooling. So I'm going to get the side panel back on. Alright, side panel back on. I put the top back on as well, and I'm going to see if having it in only pull will be any cooler. So I'm going to do the exact same test and let you know of the results. Also, let's see if it's any quieter. Not really. Let's see if I can get it to be any quieter. Oh, okay. Okay, so we need to go to health status. Silent mode. And now I'll see you if I can get it back into Windows, because that was a really odd screen it gave me. Let's see if it'll boot up okay. That's not much quieter. It's just a loud cooler, I guess. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what was going on before. Maybe I was hitting F12 to do a different boot device or something. Whatever. Yeah. I'll see you when it's up and the temperatures are in. 1 second. Okay, so it seems like the temperatures haven't changed at all, but what I can do is lift the top piece off without damaging the entire computer. Now all the heat can escape. So let's see what the temperatures get down to now that it has fresh exhaust thing. Or if they even do get down. We will find out. This and more. Coming up next. Okay, processor is running cooler at 48. So that's still cooler than... That actually is now cooler than with the air cooler. And the Fury X is cooler now at 65, but 65, I thought it was supposed to be at 60 degrees running hard, but I suppose that's only on an open test bench, maybe? Maybe if I take off the side panel, something would change, but I think that's going to be enough testing for now. I'm going to get this one set up for Windows 10. And that will be it. The next video you see will be of it with Windows 10 ready to go. Or Windows 10 already installed. All that good stuff. Or good, whatever. You know what I mean. Still is really warm up top, but at least it's no longer being choked. And actually was only a few degrees less than when it was being choked of exhaust. So maybe the top thing doesn't do that much anyways, but you know, whatever. It does do something good by letting the CPU run cooler because there's less trapped heat, but whatever. That's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course subscribe. Thanks, Game Boy out. I will see you next time. Also, it is raining outside a lot.